Hi, my name is Jerry Baldwin. I'm going to be speaking on the requirements of a contract. The requirements of the contract, it must be based upon a mutual agreement of both parties and to do not and to do a specific thing. It must be made and agreed upon by both parties, which are competent and entered into a contract that will be enforceable by both parties. The promise or obligation of each party must be supported by considerations such as payment, money, delivery of goods, and the promise to refrain from doing anything unlawful. It must be for the lawful purpose, that is the purpose of the contract. Must not be illegal, such as the unauthorized buying of and selling of narcotics. That's a no-no. In some cases, the contract must meet certain formal requirements, such as being in writing or under seal. You may test the validity of any contract using these 5 requirements, or using those 5 requirements. There are 5 different types of contracts. First one is a valid contract, a void contract, express contract, implied contract, formal and simple contract. And there is an excuratory and an executed contracts, unilateral and bilateral. Contracts have to be legally enforceable, and a quasi-contract. This one is the imposition of rights and obligations by law without contract. Next, we're going to talk about wills and the different types of wills that there are. The first type of will we're going to talk about is a holiographic will. This is a will that is in writing by the testor. Usually it's done in longhand. There's a non-cooperative will. It's oral, made during the last moments of the illness of the descendant. It only applies to personal property. Only limited value may be disposed. Must have specific days. Witnesses have to agree. Everyone has to agree with that will. Next, we have the soldier and sailor will. They are allowed to make wills in writing and in oral for their personal property without complying with the formalities of other wills, being that they're soldiers and they may be in battle. And then we're going to talk about per capita and per stripes. Per capita means that the will will be distributed per heads, meaning that it's going to be distributed equally amongst the children. Per stripes means that it will be distributed among the heirs according to the relationship of the deceased. So it would go from the spouse, children, so forth, so forth. It goes down to the end of the line. Now we'll talk about the duties of the administrator and the executor. The prime duties of the administrator and the executor usually are the same: is to preserve the estate and to distribute the goods to the rightful parties. The difference is the administrator can get a leave of court to continue the business either for a limited time or an indefinite time, depending on the receiving of the parties. So if they cannot get in contact with someone, they're still on call or on duty until they complete the fulfillment of the will. This is my project. Thank you. Have a good day.